What's the bench? I don't know, bro, I'll measure it. 2040.
Coming into the tape measure here, we're going with metric tape measures, and we've got ones here that are broken into millimeters. Just have a look here. That's just a millimeter layout. So we've got 100, 110, 120, 130, 140. And this one is in centimeters. You probably find on a building site, most of the guys, girls appreciate millimeter tape measure, but it's personal preference, and then eventually it doesn't matter too much, but that there is what we're working with. Extending it out, it's easy enough. It's probably self-explanatory. You pull it out, retracts back in, it kind of has a wee spring in there. You can lock it off with this mechanism, and that's pretty handy, and then remove it back. The movement at the end of the tape measure, if you have a look here, that allows for either the hooking on or the butting in of the tape. And that movement is a tolerance for the thickness, if that makes sense. The thickness of the end of the tape measure is the same as the amount of movement seen here. What we'll go into next is actually different types of measurement and accuracy of measurement, how to go about that. Okay, so we're going to talk about individual measurement, running measurement, overall measurement, in between measurement, and in and over measurement. Let's go. Individual measurement is just from two particular points, so point A to point B. It's an individual measurement. This here is an individual measurement. 140, this gap is 137. This piece of timber here is 70. Individual measurements. A running measurement is the accumulation of individual measurements. So instead of going 70, 137 plus 140, if I was to document this down, I'd just say 70, 207, 347, 460, 534, and that's just a continuous measurement. The purpose of a running measurement is it doesn't let like little incrementations occur. So if I was to do a whole bunch of individual measurements, it's likely when I'm actually setting out this run of measurements individually that I'd accumulate a couple of millimeters every so often, and then when I come to the end of the material and I go to install it, I may actually be out by 5, 6, 7 millimeters, depending how long it is. Whereas a running measurement, it guarantees, provided that your reading is correct and how you write down those measurements are correct, it guarantees an accurate run of measurements. Overall measurement, pretty simple. It's just the sum of all individual measurements. You go boom, over top to the outside, say overall between these three bits of timber is 534. And we can either obviously butt in or hook over. Again, that tolerance is there for a reason. So if I was to butt in and take this internal measurement, so I got 395, and then I was to transfer that onto a piece of timber, I'd then be hooking over, and that little tolerance there means that that distance doesn't change even though I'm hooking over when I mark that measurement I just said. In and over, that's a centre to centre measurement potentially. So if I go, I'll go over and in actually. So if I'm going over this piece of timber here, which is 70 mils thick, and I'm measuring to the inside of this particular piece of timber here, which is also 70 mils thick, that measurement from this point here to that point there, which in this case is 465, is the dead set centre to centre measurement. So that's 475 centre to centre. However, that only works if the two items that you're measuring are the same thickness. It doesn't work if I did the outside measurement to the inside measurement here, obviously. it is not a centre to centre measurement. So that's 207. If I put that there, obviously 207 is about there. Yeah, so it's just critical to remember that the thickness of the two items are the same. That will give you your centre to centre. Next thing we'll do is operation or little snags that you find with the tape measure. Coming up. Okay, so snags, things that can affect your measurement accuracy. One thing is obviously, in this case here, we're butting in there, pulling right through, and I'm actually wanting to measure. I'm sorry, I'm probably blocking out the view. I'll duck right down. I want to measure to the outside here, and you can see that I can't actually get my tape right in there. So I have to either figure out a way that I can get the accurate measurement to the outside of the shelf, or I need to look at another way of measuring. So what I could either do in this situation is mark where say 1500 is, mark that, and then hook over here, and then take that reading 1500 plus 510, which will make it 2 meters and 10. Another thing to watch out is a sagging tape measure that affects the measurement. So usually you want to stretch your hand out, and you'll just find that there's a maximum that you can extend the tape measure out and happily measure on your own. Otherwise you'll need another set of hands. But remember that little tolerance we talked about here? Sometimes if you've got another set of hands, they may like butt it in here, but it's actually extended out. We want to make sure that the tape is actually pulled in tight, and then you pull the tape tight, if that makes sense. And the other thing is knowing where square is. So if you've got two items, say these here are parallel, and I want to find out what the perpendicular measurement is, I might go, oh yeah, okay, it's 350. Oh no, okay, it's 340. Oh no, we've got 337.5 there. 337.5, and then it grows again. It's the smallest measurement is the perpendicular measurement. That's an introduction to using a tape measure and the different types of measurement. Some thoughts on measurement from Brian, the hang glider, paraglider that I met at Taylor's Mistake trying to shoot this tutorial yesterday. I was going to talk about the matrix being measurement being everywhere, it's all around us. Even when you turn on your television, when you go to work, when you pay your taxes. But I didn't follow that one through. But yeah.
There is a quote that I do remember, and it's "Come what may, time and the hour rule the day." Measurement seems to be what we do. I've got a hill to walk up, and I'm going to measure it by the gallons of sweat I lose and the time it takes. Measurement's all perspective. That hill's looking very steep, and it's looking very high. When I got here this morning, it didn't look so bad, but I'm on my way to measure it.